What's up, everybody? It's Michael Flix on my brand new sports show here in San Diego on the mic with Michael Flix. Happy to be here, man. I got a lot coming for y'all. Like I said, it's my first show. I got a lot in store for y'all, man. We gonna be giving updates on all San Diego sports, no matter what sport it is, basketball, football, no matter what level it is, high school, pro, college, ABA. We got a lot going on here in San Diego, man, and I feel like not enough spotlight is being put on all the sports, you know what I mean? So I'm here to bring the spotlight for everybody. So, but first, pardon me, man, I had to run downstairs and get my guest. Let me catch my breath for a second. All right, I'm good to go. So like I said, man, got a lot coming for y'all, man, but in this first show, I just wanted to introduce myself to you guys, man. I just wanted to introduce myself. So my name is Mike Roan. I go by Michael Flix. A lot of you guys probably follow me on my Instagram already. Please continue to do that. Like all my stuff, like everything, leave comments and all that. I always appreciate it. So my name is Mike Roan. A lot of you guys know me as Michael Flix. And I'm a photographer here in town. I'm always at a lot of the high school games. I'm always on the high school scene. I actually work for the San Diego Kings and the ABA on their media team. And over the course of doing photography and filming games and taking pictures and all of that, I just wanted to interview people all of a sudden. It's something I had never really done before, but I've always been a talker. Everybody that knows me knows I could talk all day and night. A lot of my friends be like, all right, Mike, like, that's enough, bro. Like, we heard enough. So, yeah, I like to talk all the time, so maybe that's where it came from. But, working for the San Diego Kings, I just remember telling the owner, like, yo, we should start, like, doing post-game and pre-game interviews, man. We should start doing that. And I was blessed to do a few for them. And I just, kind of just kept the ball rolling. And I was like, oh, this is a lot of fun. Something I really want to, get into. And then ended up starting a podcast with my brother, Family Room Podcast on Spotify and every other streaming platform you could think of. We're also on YouTube. So yeah, man, I've fallen into this interview thing, and I'm enjoying it a lot, man. I'm enjoying it a lot. My background, I'm originally from the LA area, Long Beach to be exact. But I've been in San Diego pretty much my whole life. I tell people, I was actually just telling my brother, I'm gonna always rep Long Beach, but I mean, I'm from San Diego. I've been here since I was 5. I had my first kiss here. I went to high school here. My first fight here. I learned how to hoop here. I got married here. Like, pardon me. My whole life is here in San Diego, man. So I mean, I'm from San Diego, and that's a part of the reason why I wanted to shed some light on all the athletics that we got going on here in San Diego, man. So, like I said, I've been in San Diego since I was 5 years old. Started off in the southeast area. Went to Valencia Park Elementary School. Shout out to VP. Went to Valencia Park Elementary School. Met a lot of good friends. Some of which I'm still in contact with. A few of which I'm still in contact with. One of them is actually a really, really good friend. He's pretty much family at this point. Yeah, man. I went to Valencia Park from K through 5. Then for 6th grade, I actually went to O'Farrell Middle School. Shout out to everybody that went to O'Farrell Middle School. But I only went there for 6th grade because my dad's job moved us up north. So then we went out to Escondido, and I went to Grant Middle School, which is now Mission Middle School. And then I went to Orange Glen High School. That's why I had to make sure I rep. For OG on my first show, man. I had to wear my high school jacket, man. Played basketball there, played football there. And I'm gonna just be real from the jump, man. I was never one of those dudes I was never a player on my basketball team anyway, because I got to guess my first few guests are going to be basketball guests. Y'all going to see I go on a lot of tangents, but just follow me. On my basketball team, I was never one of the best players on any high school team I played on. Middle school a few times, a couple AAU teams. But when I got to high school, I was never the best player on any high school team. I actually got cut from my freshman team. No Michael Jordan story here. It's not like I got cut and then all of a sudden I rose to prominence. I got cut my freshman year really because I had a bad attitude. The coach heard me tell someone to shut up at tryouts, and then he wrote it down, and then the next day, and this is still when it was still old school, when the coach you'd have tryouts, and then at the end of tryouts the next day when you came to school, the list was posted on the wall for everybody to see. So if you didn't make the team, everybody knew you didn't make the team. And so I had one of those situations. Coach heard me say shut up. He didn't like that. Shout out to Crazy Carl who cut me from my freshman team, man. He didn't like that, so I ended up getting cut. Yeah, man, and then so my sophomore year and actually my junior year, I played JV, which is really uncommon these days. If you're a junior and you playing JV these days, back then it was still like, dang, bro, you supposed to be on varsity, but it's like, you're not quite a senior yet, I guess. Like, do your thing down there. But these days, if you're a junior on On JV, people looking at you kind of crazy. And so that's the boat that I was in. Played JV for 2 years. And in my senior year, I was finally on the varsity team. And again, like I said, I was never the best player on the team. I only started 3 games. I scored in double digits all 3 games I started, but I only started 3 games. The games that I didn't start, I maybe averaged 4 minutes a game, if that. I had younger players on my team playing ahead of me. So, it was really tough. But actually, for me, in high school, I was more of a football player. Like 100%, I was more of a football player. But even with football, I didn't play varsity until my senior year. I didn't play for my school my junior year at all because I didn't like the coach just being a knucklehead, which was a bad choice. My sophomore year, I played JV, and even that year on the football team, I didn't get very much playing time. But in my opinion, and I'm a rock with this to the day I die, in my opinion, it's because I was just small. Like y'all, a lot of y'all see me at the games. I'm a small guy now. But so even in high school, matter of fact, I'll put it in perspective for you. My freshman year in high school, I was 4'11" and I weighed 80 pounds. I actually played Pop Warner football my freshman year in high school. That's how small I was. It was 4'11" and I weighed 80 pounds. I'll never forget that. As a matter of fact, that year, I was the oldest kid on my Pop Warner team, but I was still the lightest kid on my team. Crazy, right? So anyway, to get back to high school, finally made it to varsity, and I ended up starting. I always played running back, and to be clear, when I played Pop Warner, I always started. I was always one of the best players on my Pop Warner team. Wanted to make that clear. When I got to high school, like I said, I've always been small, and I was a late bloomer. So on top of being a little guy already, and then I was a late bloomer. So when everybody's developing muscles and getting bigger and developing facial hair, I was still over here, the short dude with the squeaky voice that was just dying to get a girl to like him and dying to get some playing time, you know what I mean? So that's who I was. So I finally started to grow a little bit. So, I still wasn't a big dude, but I finally started to grow, develop a few muscles here and there. And so my senior year, I'm on varsity now. End up starting all 10 games at cornerback. I actually hold a record. Shout out to Orange Glen High School football. I actually hold a record at my high school for most tackles by a corner. It was only 9.5 tackles, but I mean, ain't no corner supposed to be making 9 tackles in a game. So for me, for any corner, really, that was a big deal, but especially for me, because I had guys on my team why is Rome getting all this playing time? He new to the team. He mad small. We don't even know what he could do. But, we played in some scrimmage games, and especially those first handful of games, those handful of games when the season first started, I really showed everybody what I could do. Had a whole bunch of tackles, a lot of pass deflections. But you know what one of my regrets is, actually? I played corner all year long, never got one interception. Never got one interception. Shout out my boy Jesse. Might have him on the show sometime. Shout out my boy Jesse. He got a few interceptions on the year. He played right corner. I played left corner. Got a whole bunch of deflections. Actually, the first game of the season, I had 3 deflections, one of which I could have caught, but I dropped it. The other 2, I had to just slap them down. But yeah, I played high school football, played high school basketball. Thought about maybe trying to go to JUCO court. Like I said, I was, new to varsity as a senior. So for me, getting looks and a scholarship, that was never really on the table for me. As a kid, for me, when I was younger, I was always thinking oh yeah, I love sports. I'm gonna go to college and play sports. But the older you get and you see how things are gonna kind of pan out for you. Not that you don't have faith in yourself, but for me anyway, I just got a little bit more realistic about it. You know what I'm saying? And so that wasn't really on the table for me. And I was living in North County at the time, as I said, Escondido. And for a lot of people in that area, Palomar, and especially in Escondido, Palomar Junior College is where you're going to go. So that ended up where I went. I tried, summer league basketball for a little bit. That didn't work out. To be real, at the time, I just wasn't good enough. I worked on my game a little bit for a couple of years, and after a while, I was, I could play. But at the time, fresh out of high school, I just wasn't ready. You know what I mean? Always loved sports, always really been into sports, always played sports, and I still love sports to this day. Basketball, football, I still play a little dodgeball, a little flag football here and there. I've always loved sports, and I'm always love sports. So for me, doing a sports show, it just made sense. On top of the fact that it was something that I wanted to do, I just felt like there was a void not being filled here in San Diego. That's just how I felt about it. So I'm here to fill that void, man. Like I said, y'all seen me all over the place with my cameras, whether it's Cream of the County event or a San Ysidro game or, the Torrey Pines tournament or any game really, not even just the big games, any game really in San Diego, you've seen me there, man. And actually for me, I got into cameras early. Like I said, this first episode is usually gonna be about a lot of sports, but not everybody knows me. And if you know me, you only know me as a cameraman. So I'm gonna let y'all get to know me a little bit in this first interview. I'm sorry, in this first show. So yeah, man, I'm a cameraman now, and that actually started me playing with cameras anyway. That actually started in high school, my senior year. Shout out to my mom, who I think I was actually telling my little brother one day, I kind of think she saw that I wasn't as good as my older brother and my younger brother at sports, and she was trying to kind of like steer me away from it. Not because she didn't like believe in me. I think she was just sick of seeing me upset that I wasn't getting the playing time that I wanted, or coming home mad after losing the game or whatever. So she was trying to steer me towards other things, and I've always been into other things. Like I play the piano and I play the drums. I write. I used to write music, and my mom knows all that about me. So she was like trying to push me in that direction. She would always tell me to go, try to audition for the band and be on the drum line and stuff like that. But I always just wanted to play sports. My love was always in sports first. But like I said, it's a million tangents for me. But to get back to what I was talking about, the camera thing started for me in high school, my senior year, by my mom's recommendation, just telling me to try everything. That's what I was talking about. My mom, she was like trying to get me to try other things other than sports. She always encouraged me to do that. And so with that in my mind, we had a video production class at my high school. And so I took a video production class. And shout out to my video production teacher, Mr. Copo. He actually went to NYU. He studied with Adam Sandler. If I'm not mistaken, while he was my teacher, he was still working in LA and in Hollywood a little bit, if I'm wrong. Mr. Copo, if you ever hear this or see this, hit me up and correct me. But if I'm not mistaken, he was still working in LA and in Hollywood at the time. And he really knew his stuff, man. He taught us a lot. He taught us really about composition, and just how to put videos together and all of that type of stuff. And with that, because I kind of fell in love with it at the time, my mom ended up buying me a camera, just like a little camera to play with around. Now it was actually a pretty nice sized camera to play with around the house. And really all I did with that, we would just, like, me and my brothers and my homies, we would go out in the front in the parking lot to the basketball hoop, and we would just make dunk videos, really, like put the court down low, make dunk videos. And then one day, shout out to my little brother who's in here working the cameras for me. Me and my younger brother, Derek, and our two friends, Anthony and Raheem, we had this idea to start, like, making Punk'd videos. This is back when Ashton Kutcher had the show Punk'd on MTV. So we started, like, making little videos like that, going around the neighborhood, knocking on people's doors, running away, like, pretending like we hurt, laying out in the street, stopping 15 cars back, and when somebody come and check, like, you got punked. Just doing knucklehead little kid stuff. But that was where my start with the cameras came. And then, for whatever reason, we just stopped doing that. And it kind of fell apart, stopped using the camera, and I kind of really left it alone for a long time. Until I kind of, fast forward, I end up getting married. I got a kid, and I'm just sitting in the house, like, kind of bored and kind of feeling unfulfilled, or not kind of, feeling unfulfilled, like legitimately unfulfilled. If you're younger sometimes, like, if you have that feeling, you might not know what it is, or you may have never come across that feeling at all. But for me at the time, being like 4 years ago, being 27, I was just like I'm married, I'm happy, I got a kid, and I'm happy, love is in my life, I'm healthy, everything is good, but for whatever reason, I felt unfulfilled. And I've always been a creative, and I realized that I felt unfulfilled because I wasn't creating anything anymore. I just wasn't creating anything. I was coaching basketball at the time. Oh, shout out to my high school again. I actually was blessed to coach there. We won a CIF championship. What year was that? A whole bunch of years back. We won a CIF championship. Our main guys are their freshman year. Devin and Mike Diaz and Trevor Owens. Their freshman year at Orange Glen, we won a CIF championship, and then their senior year we made it back, and we ended up losing the Helix. We ain't gonna get into that. I'm still salty. Dang, where's I going with that? It's all good. That was what it was. I felt a little unfulfilled because I wasn't creating anything. I was only coaching, drawing up, training plans and sketching out how I was going to train my players, and that was cool, but it wasn't really creative enough for me. It wasn't enough for me. And so my wife ended up buying me, I was like, I think I want to play with the piano again. My wife bought me a little keyboard. So I just start, playing with the keyboard, playing with melodies, playing like the songs that I know. And from there, just playing with the melodies, I was like, let me try to make one of these melodies into a song. So I break out a notepad and a pen, and I start writing. But because I had so much writer's block with writing a song, because I hadn't done that for a while, I ended up writing, like, more poetry and more short stories. And in my opinion, as my short stories started to get better, that's when, I had an idea to turn one of the short stories into a short film. And so, boom, I went and bought a camera. And when I first bought the camera, I'm trying to shoot, and I had all these, what I feel is dope ideas in my head, but I wasn't good enough with the camera. Like, I couldn't bring it to life. I couldn't make it look how it looked in my head. So I was like, you know what? I need to find a way to practice. So I grabbed the camera, and I started taking the camera out to my workouts. So I'm filming my workouts, but I'm still like, that's not really enough. So then I started looking for ways to practice, more ways to practice. And that's when I just started showing up to different workouts. I would just hit up different trainers like, hey, let me come film your workout. Bring my camera outside, just drive around with it, hop out, film little things. And then one of my friends started playing for the San Diego Kings in their first year. Shout out to my boy Aaron Felix. He actually plays for the San Diego Guardians now. We're going to cover both of them teams. And my plan is to have a player from each team in here one day and let them kind of talk trash back and forth one week before they play each other. But shout out to my boy Aaron Felix, who plays for the Guardians now. But at the time, he played for the Kings. And he and I are lifelong friends. I've known him since like third or fourth grade. And I was like, oh, that's dope. The homie playing semi-pro. I'm going to pull up. Oh, matter of fact, I could bring my camera. I'm going to bring my camera out and film him, try to make a little highlight tape for him, and that'll be a way I can practice. And so the first time I went to a game, there was already a cameraman there, Ray Williams. He was one of the cameraman for the Kings. And I felt weird, like I didn't want to step on his toes, so I wouldn't pull my camera out. And then I talked to the owner after I went to like 2 games and not filming anything. I ended up meeting the owner, A. Muhazy. Shout out to A. Muhazy. What up, bro? I hit him. I was like, hey, bro, I want to film, like, but I don't want to step on nobody's toes. He's like, bro, don't worry about that, man. You good. Like, we need another cameraman. Ray is super cool. He not going to be tripping. Bring your camera out, man. Let's do it. So I brought the camera out, and like I said, that was, maybe the last game of year 1. And I've been with them ever since, man. The playoff, we actually had the playoffs cut short, the San Diego Kings and the San Diego Guardians, actually. Had the playoffs cut out with this whole COVID-19, this coronavirus stuff. But yeah, man, they're gonna get that rocking pretty soon. But yeah, so that was how I got my start, and being a cameraman, and and actually, I actually never had a plan to really take pictures. It was really just a film. But I mean, the camera takes pictures, so why not try to get good at that? And so that ended up being kind of the lane I was going down first. And then, I was taking pictures, and then it turned into video. At the high school games, I was taking pictures first, and then it turned into video. And so, yeah, man, I've been a cameraman now for 2.5, almost 3 years now. I still got a lot to learn. Still got a lot I want to get better at. Still got new cameras that I want to buy and new stuff. But I'm having a lot of fun, man. I love being a cameraman. I actually, because of working for the San Diego Kings, I was able to get a job with KUSI working for Prep Pigskin Report. So I'll be out there back on the football fields this coming high school football season, if everything is back to normal, which I'm sure it will be. But if everything is back to normal, my plan is to be back on the baseline on the sideline at the high school. No, actually, not even on the sideline. That was actually how I started doing it. But anyway, I won't get into that. I plan on being back up in the press box at the high school football games, meeting different people, interviewing different people for the Hogcast, for Prep Pigskin Report, and actually bringing some of those football players in here to my show, man. Like I said, I'm interviewing all athletes, man. Football, basketball, baseball, tennis, golf, lacrosse, anything. And again, let me stress this. This is something I probably should have said at the top. Let me stress this. My show, although the guest that I'm bringing in today, he's got somewhat of a bigger name. He played on a nationally ranked team, and he got a cool little following on social media. A lot of people know who he is. But that's just how it worked out. Don't get it twisted. I'm very grateful to have him here. I've been trying to set something up with him for a long time. But that him being the first guest, though I'm grateful, that's how it worked out. I'm here. My main point for bringing all that up is I wanna provide a platform for everybody, not just the players who have a high profile name, not just the players who play on the best team in the city, anybody. Because like I said, I was that kid. That I felt like I might have had a story to tell. I might have had some things that I wanted to share, but because I wasn't the best player on the team, or because my team wasn't very good, nobody was going to come up to me. Like, nobody was going to ask me any questions. My paper, like 9 times out of 10, my picture wasn't going to be in the paper. Like, and back then, it wasn't even like really social media like that. Like, back then, it was just, man, if Max Preps snaps a picture of you and puts it up on their page, it was like, yo, I got a Max Preps picture. You know what I mean? But I wasn't even getting that back then. And so I'm saying all that to say, I know how it feels to be the guy that feels like you got something to say or you got something that you want to show, but because your name is smaller or because you don't have a high profile, that nobody's showing you the love that you think you should get. I'm here to show the love to everybody, man. No matter how big or small your name is, no matter how good or bad your team is, if you feel like you got something to say, if you feel like you got something to promote, man, the on the mic with Michael Flix is here for you, man. That's 100% correct. Everybody that knows anything about me knows, man, I show love all the time. I'm real nice. I'm a real chill dude. You can always walk up to me and shake my hand. I'm here for everybody. It's pretty much what I'm trying to say, man. I'm here for everybody, man. So yeah, man. This is my first show, man. I'm real excited. I'm real happy to be here. I'm real happy to be providing a platform from San Diego. Over time, just if anybody listens to my podcast with my older brother Stefan and with my homie Jesse Williams, you've noticed over time that the production level got better, more camera angles got added, lights and different setups, and we finally to a position now where we feel like we comfortable and we gonna really start growing now. And that's the same thing that's gonna happen with this show. The production level, I'm very happy with the way it's starting. Don't get that twisted. I'm very happy with the way it's starting, but everything's gonna always get better. Show after show, week after week, everything's gonna get better. Right now, I got RIP to Kobe. I'm a diehard Lakers fan. Let me go ahead and say that right now. I'm a diehard Lakers fan. Got my man Kobe in here. Shout out to Raquel Roan. She's an artist here in San Diego. She painted this beautiful, beautiful picture of Kobe Bryant. He's actually holding what looks like to be the dunk contest trophy, but it actually says Gianna Bryant Mambasita, and you see he got the halo over his head. Kobe is not my favorite player, but like I said, I'm a diehard Laker fan, and he's definitely my favorite Laker. So yeah, man, Kobe go being here with us all the time. And then on this side, that's somebody that is inspired me more than anybody else has over the past few years, and he was taken away from us way too soon as well. Nipsey Hussle is also here in the studio, and those are two pieces of art that are always going to be here. Both of those are from the wonderful, wonderful, extremely talented artist Raquel Roan. Again, my name is Michael Roan. I go by Michael Flix, but that's no relation. It's no relation at all. It just happened. I guess when your last name is Roan, you just do dope stuff, man. I don't know. But yeah, I saw her on Instagram and saw years back, and I've been seeing her at pop-up shops, and I'm part of the vegan community. I've seen her at different events and different little vegan things and 5Ks and stuff, and she's always just up, presents her art, and just turn around and paint. If you want to buy something, she'll sell it to you, and she just get back to painting. I love her energy, love her spirit, man. She's a really, really dope person, man. I feel like I know her super well, and I've barely ever communicated with her. She's just one of them people that got that dope energy, man. So if anybody needs some artwork, or if you like this Kobe Bryant or this Nipsey Hussle piece, y'all check her out on Instagram, man. Her name is Raquel Roan. Raquel Roan, R-H-O-N-E is the last name. Yeah, man, so yeah, just to get back to what I was talking about, man, that's the two pieces of art that we got in here today. I had another one that I brought in, but I wasn't able to hang it up. I guess I didn't plan accordingly. That's another theme in my life that I'm trying to change. But yeah, man, got a lot of different artwork that's going to be going on in here. I'm always going to be promoting San Diego creatives, obviously San Diego athletes, and just anybody that has anything going on in San Diego, man. I'm here to promote you. I'm here to hold you down. And my platform isn't big yet, and even if it never becomes anything gigantic, my platform is here for you. I'm always going to be here for you. Speaking of that, while I'm talking about San Diego artists and San Diego creatives and all of that, let me go ahead and shout some of them out right now. This hat that I got on is from a black-owned company here in San Diego called Trill Consciousness, T-R-L-L. My man is from Texas. Y'all know what it is with Trill. It's called Trill Consciousness. This is his hat. It's like the yoga man sitting on top of the TV. It's from his Above the Influence collection. Above the Influence. And then this hoodie that I got. I don't know how well y'all can see it, but it's from Hoopsters, a brand called Hoopsters. Oh man, I'm tight. I'm forgetting my man's first name, but Felix Kilborn from San Ysidro High School, the point guard, the general from San Ysidro High School. It's his dad. It's his clothing brand. And that's his, Hoopsters. So he got a real nice line going, got a whole bunch of dope stuff, man. So if y'all like this hat or y'all like this hoodie or anything else that y'all see me on here, man, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be San Diego. But almost 10 times out of 10, it's going to be black owned. And 8 to 10 times out of 10, it's going to be somebody from San Diego. Like I said, I'm here for San Diego. But it ain't just black owned. First and foremost, black owned for sure. But it ain't just black owned. Anybody that's doing anything in San Diego that you want to help promoting or you just want to see it on the show, hit me up, man, and we can talk about it. So yeah, man, that's that's been the first segment, how the show is gonna work. I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna give you updates and talk about all the sports that's happened over the past week, and I'll give you updates and scores. And then the second half will be an interview, and so that's what I'm looking to do. So we'll be right back. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to On the Mic with Michael Flix. Very excited, man. Very excited. Very happy to have a very special guest in here, man. Like I said, I told y'all a little bit. I didn't give his name because I wanted to build a little suspense. But like I said, man, I've been trying to connect with my man for the longest time now. I had a show link up with Michael Flix. Been trying to get him on my podcast. I only was able to make it to like 2 of his games. I said I'd be at a lot more over the last season. But like I said, I finally got him in here, man. My man, Bryson Stevens.
Nice to meet you.
I'm glad to have you here, man. I'm glad to have you here. Like I said, man, I've interviewed a couple people here at the station before, but now since I got my own show, you my first guest, man. I'm real honored to have you, man.
Appreciate that.
So what you been up to, man, since the season ended, man?
Man, I just been grinding. Like at first when COVID hit, it was like we was on quarantine. So then I was just at the crib just working out. And it was hard just because like I didn't have a court at first. So pretty much I was just lifting a lot of weights. And I was just doing push-ups on the Vertimax trying to get my bounce up. And then my dad finally got me a court, and then that's when I just started going crazy, just grinding outside.
That's what's up, man. The bounce been there. He said trying to get his bounce up. The bounce been there. My man be jumping out the gym, but we go get into all of that. So, yeah, man, I didn't properly introduce my guest, man. His name is Bryson Stevens. He played at Rancho Christian this past. You played all 4 years there, right?
Nah. So first I started at John W. North in Riverside, and I was there my freshman year and then first semester of sophomore year. So, like, I made varsity freshman year and stuff, but I didn't really play like that. And honestly, I wasn't really locked in to hoop like that. I was just trying to have fun because I just got to high school. But then I decided to lock in, and that's when I made that transition to Rancho Christian.
That's what's up. And so, like I said, I didn't know about. I've known about all the San Diego schools and teams for a while, but I didn't really know about Rancho Christian honestly until y'all kind of like just popped up out of nowhere. Like, really, when you were on the team, really, when you and your big man, and we're going to talk about him in a second. But I hadn't really heard about the team until, like I said, until y'all popped up, and I started seeing you and your teammates all over social media all the time. And for me, you were the one that caught my eye off top because we about the same height. And I'm like, little dude, I hadn't even seen you really jump yet. I'm like, dude, it's shifty. You got a nice handle with the rock. And then I seen a video, you just got it. No. Matter of fact, I had met you already, and I knew who you were slightly. But the thing that really, really, really put you on my radar was your junior year at Mission Bay.
Oh, yeah.
Your junior year at Mission Bay. Was it a lob or a tip?
Nah, it was a tip.
Yeah, it was a tip. You got the tip, and I remember this dude hit the ground, just turn around, flex, and I'm like, yo. Like, I'm like, I knew your name, but I'm like, who is this little dude? Like, man, he turned around like no smile. Like sometimes when that happens, you see a turnaround. And however people celebrate, I'm not here to hate on it, but sometimes you see people, they do something, they turn around, they saluting the crowd, they doing something. This dude turned around with just the mean mug. And I'm like, yo, I'm messing with that type of energy. So ever since then, I ain't gonna lie, man, I've been a fan ever since then. Especially for somebody like me who, I don't know if you heard the show before you came in, but I'm a small dude. I was an undersized guard, and I could jump, but not the way you out here jumping, man. So, how old were you when you first started playing basketball?
I was about 8 or 9, and then pretty much I was just outside hooping in the backyard, and then I was just playing one-on-one. Shout out to my boy Najee. We would go at it every single day. Like, he's the reason probably why I'm a dog today, because we would just go at it in the backyard, one-on-one, getting our shots up and just working.
That's dope. Who put the ball in your hand? Was it you that just wanted to go and do it, or did somebody like, here's the ball?
Nah. So my dad, he was a professional bowler, and he wanted me to bowl at first, but then he was too hard on me, and I know he watching right now, so it was just funny because he was just hard on me, and then I was just like, I'm not built for this sport. Like, I want to be something else. So then my mom kind of put a basketball in my hand, and then that's when everything just started going up from there.
Your dad is a professional bowler.
Yeah. So not right now, but he was a professional.
But he used to be.
Yeah.
So he's super nice with it then.
Yeah, Hall of Famer.
How about you? How good of a bowler are you?
I'm a great bowler. I'm better than him.
Oh, you better than him, huh?
Of course.
See, if my dad was a pro bowler and I was super nice with it, I don't even think I'd tell people. I'd just be like, hey, y'all, let's go bowling. Let's go bowling. And we get up and like, hey, let's bet $1 a hand or like $1 a game or something like that. Just be dogging people. That's what I'd be doing. I'm gonna have to meet your dad, man, and talk to him about that. One of my cousins is super dope at bowling. This dude, he'll have his phone out and roll it down the lane and turn backwards and put his phone up so he could see the strike. Like, he dumb nice at bowling.
Damn.
He dumb nice at bowling. So you started hooping at 8. When was were you 8 years old the first time you played like organized basketball?
Nah, it was like I started at 4, I guess you could say, just like doing it for fun. But then organized basketball was probably around like 11 or 12. And then I was probably playing for like, I think I started with West Coast Warriors, and then that's when I transitioned to MOC basketball.
What's MOC?
MOC basketball, that was built out of Corona.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said West Coast basketball, MOC, and then how? Because by the time I met you, you were Game Point.
Yeah.
So at what point did you go over to Game Point? Game Point is a travel ball company, travel ball team out here, San Diego based. They're in Vista, if I'm not mistaken. How'd you make the connection with Game Point?
So with them, it was my coach. He plugged me in. It was my trainer, actually. My trainer, CJ. Shout out to CJ. He's the person who really made me who I am today. But CJ plugged me in with Game Point, and then I transferred over there to when I was 15, and then I was with them for 15, 16, and 17U.
And see, like I said, my first time, I think the first time I met you and seen you play in person was at a Cream of the County event. Shout out to my man, Full Time Hoops. And so, like I said, actually, I don't think at that point I knew what school you went to. I don't think at that point I did. So you're at the Cream of the County event, which is a San Diego event, and I see you in there going crazy. I'm like, yo, what school is he finna be at? Like, who he finna team up with? And I think Full Time Son was like, nah, he played out in Temecula. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. So yeah, you was going crazy at the Cream of the County too, man.
Yeah,
Cream of the County. And so like you said you transferred to Rancho Christian your sophomore year.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get there, was it like automatic, like you in the mix, you starting?
Nah, it was crazy. So second semester of sophomore year, I transferred to Rancho, and I remember I'm talking to the coach, and he was like, don't come. He literally said, do not come. You won't play. The guards are just like, it's too many guards here. You won't be able to play.
And this is the same coach you ended up playing for as a senior as well?
Yes,
same dude?
Coach Ray.
Okay.
That's my guy. But he told me I was not going to play, none of that. So then I was just like, Coach, just give me one opportunity to prove myself, and I'm going to make it happen. So, like, growing up, I've always wanted to prove people wrong and just make a statement for myself. So when I transferred to Rancho Christian, we had Tarkanian Classic. This was the second semester, yeah. Tarkanian Classic. We drove up to Vegas. He told me I couldn't sit on the bench. I couldn't play, do nothing. So I still drove up there. I was in the bleachers at every single game. I went to every single team practice to watch. I went to every team meeting, every team dinner. I was there every single time just to show him that, like, nice. I'm locked in regardless. So then after that, like, he took notice in that. And then ever since then, I was just locked in the gym. And then sophomore year, I didn't really play that much. But junior year, I got, like, minutes here and there. But, like, I was, like, mostly focused on defense. So, like, that was my role. Like, and I take my role very seriously. No matter what, I'm going to just play my role.
Respect.
So defense was my thing. So I had to guard the best player every single time I stepped on that court. And I held a lot of these guys to just low points, all these D1 guys. And it was just crazy because people didn't really know who I was. And I was undersized, like you said, but I was still a dog on that court no matter what.
That's what's up. You got to earn your keep somehow. You got to get your foot in the door somehow, and then once your foot is in there, then you can go ahead and show everybody what kind of sneakers you got on. But you got to get your foot in the door first. You know what I'm saying? And so, being a defender, having to cover the toughest players, who was in high? I mean, you haven't made it to college yet, but in high school or AAU for that matter, who was toughest player you ever had to guard?
The toughest player I've ever had to guard.
Even if it was a teammate in practice, like I wasn't worried about them because I had this dude in practice like anybody at all. Toughest cover.
Well, it's going to be Evan Mobley. It's my guy.
Okay.
Every time we got to switch on the screen, it was just bad.
Okay, well, then give me a guard. That makes sense. So give me a guard then. Give me a guard.
Guard-wise, the hardest player I ever had to guard was probably, I would say, Sharif Cooper.
Okay. I like him.
Yeah.
I like him. He could play.
He just knows his spots and his angles.
Yeah, and for me anyway, because I was, like I said, I was never the best player on a team, but I've always been really fast and I could always jump. So for me, defense wasn't ever really a thing. And so a guy that was really fast or really shifty, it was never really a problem. It was like you said, the dude that knew his spots, knew exactly where to go to get his moves off and all of that. Those were always the toughest covers for me. So you play senior year. So you get into your senior year. You're starting now.
Yeah.
You guys start the year off nationally ranked. What rank were you guys to start the season? I
Honestly,
want to say it was like
don't know.
9 or 11 or something like that, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. Because I remember looking at the schedule. I remember I DM'd you, and I was like, yo, when y'all come out and play San Ysidro, I'm going to be in the building for that.
Yeah,
I
I
remember I
remember
hit
that.
you up. And I think at that point, I think you guys were number 11 in the country, but I don't know where you guys started the season at. But anyway, so your senior year, talk to me about a little bit about your senior year. How did that go?
Senior year was crazy. Had its up and downs, but like we started off real good. It was just like it started going kind of downhill at the end just because we wasn't locked in as a team. So like it was crazy just playing on the nationally ranked stage just because at every single game there's going to be cameras, there's going to be ESPN games. And it's just crazy because some people are going to let that get to their head and some people are just going to stay locked in. So when we was playing, we would win our game. Like I think we went on like a 10 or 11 winning game streak and then we lost. So then that's when things kind of started going downhill from there. But after that, it was just like we didn't really fully lock in as a team. So that's how we lost like our last few games.
Mm-hmm. I see. Like I said, I was there for the San Ysidro game. I think I saw you guys playing that Corona tournament once, and I was definitely there when you guys. I think the last game of the season against Etowanda.
Yeah.
I was there for that game. And so you didn't start until your senior year, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even play till my senior year. Like, that's what's crazy. People don't know that. Like, freshman year, I sat the bench. Sophomore year, I sat the bench. Junior year, I got minutes here and there playing defense. And senior year was my first time actually playing.
That's crazy. And see, for me, like I said, for me, somebody like watching from afar and watching on social media, I see how hard you work. I see how good you look on the court, and I see you dunking all over the place. I'm like, yo, you the man over there. But then like there, you like, nah, bro, I had to wait my turn and earn my keep.
I got
That's
it out
crazy.
the mud.
Facts. I prefer it that way. So like this is the way I see it. The people that had to grind and work for every little thing, had nothing handed, they got a different type of grind. And then also the players who their older brother or their dad did it before them, and they don't want to be compared or don't want to like live in that shadow. Those are the people that I feel like if you would have been a bowler, like you probably would have been the best in the world because you like, I'm not trying, whatever, say your dad's name is Henry, like I ain't trying to just be Henry's son.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to be Bryson, you know what I'm saying? So them is the players that I see, like, you know what I'm saying, they really super go hard. And so you're starting as a senior. When did you committed and signed with Cal Poly?
Yeah.
Congratulations
Cal Poly
on that,
Pomona,
Matt.
thank you.
Congratulations on that. When did the offer start to come in?
To be honest, I didn't really get no solidified offers. It was just like I had hella interest from junior year to senior year. Like I was getting interest from D1s, D2s, and my first official offer was Westcliff University, NAI, and then that's when I started like just getting hella interest. But I got it was like D2, they don't really offer unless you commit. So I pretty much could have went to a lot of D2s, but then after that, I was just like actually Corona hit. So like this is what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to play with Compton Magic for the unsigned senior team, and then that's when I was supposed to try to make a name for myself. That's when I'm just really working. And then Corona hit. So then that's when everything started going downhill, and then I had to lock in on a school because like I've seen Cal Poly, I've visited Cal Poly, but I've never really like thought about, oh, I'm going to commit to this school. So that's when my dad was like, hey, you really going to have to lock in on what school you have to go to. Then when I started talking it over with my family, my mom's being there supportive, my dad's just like, come on, do like what you want to do. And then that's when I was just like, okay. So then I was like Cal Poly because they've been on me from the start, and my coach influenced that decision a lot. He was like, you don't need to go D1. Like D1, that doesn't matter. D2 doesn't matter. You could become a pro regardless, and that's the main goal. So with me, it was just like,
Shout out to your coach.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm going to just get it where I fit in. So then that's when I was just like Cal Poly Pomona because Coach Hill, he recruited me the hardest. Mm-hmm. That's my guy for real. So that's when I was like, I'm committed.
Believed in you. That's dope. Don't you have did one of your teammates commit there as well, or am I tripping?
Nah.
Okay. I remember right after I saw yours, I had just been paying attention because I didn't want to miss nothing. I feel like I seen a couple, maybe just some other people signed to Cal Poly, but maybe not teammates.
Yeah, it was the homie Daryl Jackson.
There
DJ.
you go.
He committed there, but then he decommitted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew I seen one other. I'm like, well, they gonna be a nice little tandem over there. I know I seen one other. So real quick before we get out of here, man, favorite basketball player?
Ooh, favorite basketball player, I'm gonna have to go with Kobe Bean.
Kobe Bean. What about active player right now?
Active. Honestly, young talent, I'm gonna go with Ja Morant because Ja Morant is just tough. But
All
then
right. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
I'll probably say John Wall or Kemba Walker.
And favorite shoe to hoop in?
Say that again?
Favorite shoe to hoop in?
Oh, Dames.
Ooh, that's my favorite player. I haven't played. Man, I ain't hooped in years, but Dame is my favorite player. So
Yeah, he's top 5 for sure.
okay, yeah, I love Dame. If I had to, matter of fact, give me that. Who's your top 5 favorite players?
Top 5 players would probably be like top 5 ever.
Top 5 active right now.
My top 5 would probably be Dame, John Wall, Kemba, Steph, and I'm going to go with, I'm going to probably go with Ja Morant because that's my favorite. So that's like my top 5. That's not the top 5 best, but that's my top 5
Right, I was about to
players.
say no LeBron or no KD in there. I respect it.
Yeah,
I respect
that's
it.
my top 5.
I don't even know what my top 5 is. Now that I'm asking you, Dame is definitely my favorite player. Shoot, I ain't even gonna waste time trying to think about it right now. I rock with Dame hard.
Me too, for sure.
Bron is one of my favorite players, but I feel like that's cheating because he the best and he played for my favorite team. So it's like, of course you're gonna like LeBron. You know what I'm saying? What kind of music you into, bro?
Oh, Lil Baby.
Okay.
He's number 1, no debate.
He said, "Oh, matter of fact, I seen you put that on Instagram." The other
Number
day.
1.
That's what's up. Because I remember somebody like posted like a little side by side thing. I think you posted like who's
Yeah.
better. You like, come on, fam, that ain't even a question. That ain't even a question. That's dope. That's dope. That's all you listening to, just Lil Baby right now. That's all you vibing with.
I listen to other rappers, but Lil Baby's just the GOAT. That's my favorite.
I feel it. To be honest, he's not somebody that's ever really on my radar like that. I hear his songs when I hear him and I like him, but he's not somebody that I go fishing for. But that new, I forget the name of it, but about like, what's going on in the country right now. That song,
Bigger Picture.
There you go, The Bigger Picture. That song is super dope. And I always love when somebody that you wouldn't expect, like, gives us a message like that. Because I wouldn't have expected him to say that.
Yeah, it was
Almost
powerful,
kind of
for
like,
sure.
and I don't want to, he from San Diego, so I'm gonna bring his name up from time to time. But kind of like what Mikey did with the HBCUs.
Mm-hmm.
That was something that's like, granted, like he got, a lot of people know who he is, but in my opinion, nobody was ever really talking about HBCUs. And it's something for me in my personal life, like with my brothers and my wife, that's something I've always said is like all it takes is one high profile player to be like, yo, that's where I'm going. And that'll kind of change everything. But yeah, but anyway, to get back to my point, I love when people that you wouldn't expect make statements like, because a lot of people are like, oh, Mikey's cocky, he this, he that. But I mean, he looked cocky on the court, but when you meet him in person, he's a super nice guy. But anyway, I love when people that you wouldn't expect make statements like that. Let me see. So, matter of fact, to get back to college, with being recruited, heavily recruited by what's his name at Cal Poly? The coach?
Coach Damon Hill.
Coach Damon Hill. Have you guys had any? If you can't talk about it, then tell me you can't talk about it. But have you guys spoken anything about like what your role is going to be as a freshman? Are you looking to start? You gonna have to earn your keep? How's it looking?
Honestly, I'm going to have to earn my keep because no matter where I go, I know I'm going to have to get it out the mud. So I'm going to just go in and work hard.
And why do you say that? Just being small or what?
Nah, it's because nothing was ever handed to me.
Respect. In high school, so before I get to high school, growing up, was it only basketball? Or did you play Pop Warner? Did you play Little League Baseball? Like, was it only basketball?
Nah, my mom put me in a lot of sports. Like, she put me in track. She put me in basketball. She put me in football. And, like, I played other sports, but I didn't really have love for it. Like, I think no cocky stuff. I think I could have been really good at track. Like, I think I could have went D1 in track for sure. But basketball is just my love and passion, and that's what I stuck with.
That's dope. So you didn't play any other sports in high school?
Nah.
And see, that's more of a it's probably the smarter thing to do, but that's more of a recent thing because I graduated from high school in 2006. I'm 31. And so when I was in high school, the best, and no disrespect, I understand why nobody plays multiple, why hardly anybody plays multiple sports these days. I'm not disrespecting anybody. But back then, the best athletes, again, no disrespect to anybody, but back then, the best athletes, they played everything. Like,
Yeah.
At my like the quarterback at my school, like he was on the 4x1 team. He ran track. You know what I'm saying? He some of our best baseball players was on the basketball team too. Like everybody played everything. But then now I feel like sports, and especially high school sports, is kind of evolved to the point where it's like I'm wasting my time. Like if I really wanna pursue that, I'm not wasting my time because I'm still being athletic. I'm still training my body. I'm still getting bigger, stronger, and faster. But while I'm out here running routes for football, I could be working on my jump shot. Like
Facts.
I could be out, like you could run a route and you can always practice anything. Please don't misconstrue what I'm saying. You can always practice anything. Like you running a route, you can always get better at it. But once you've like kind of perfected running a 9 route, you've perfected it. You know what I'm saying? Your jump shot is something that you got to stay with that. You know what I'm saying? No matter what. Like even Steph Curry, he got that flicker. He'll probably walk in the gym and on the third one, it's wet, and he go hit 20 in a row, 70 in a row, like we seen him doing Instagram. But it's something you got to stay with. I feel like basketball, and especially if you're trying to like pursue basketball for sure is one of those sports that like, matter of fact, it's the perfect example I've always told people. Football and a lot of other sports, but I'm gonna just compare football and basketball. In my opinion, football is like one of the homies, and basketball is like your girlfriend. Like football, if you don't talk to the homie, if you stay away from it, you don't connect. When you get back to it, it's like it might feel weird that first 10 minutes, but after 10 minutes, you back rocking.
Yeah.
Basketball, if you not communicating, if you're not checking in, if you're not tapping in, it's going to be ugly when you get back. You know what I'm saying? And that's the parallel I've always met. Football and a lot of other sports, with all due respect to everybody's, sports and whatever they choose, but in my opinion, a lot of other sports are like the homie, and basketball is like your girl. Like, you got to stay consistent with basketball, you know what I'm saying? If you had to compare your game to any pro or college player, who would you compare it to, and or is there any athlete that you kind of like patented your game after?
I wouldn't really say that. It was just like I take my game from like a lot of people. Like I just watch a lot of film. I watch a lot of YouTube videos on like every single guard. So like I try to take from an athleticism standpoint, John Wall, the way he just attacks downhill full court. And I'll take Steph, the way he moves without the ball. I'll take Dame, how he's crazy off the dribble. Chris Paul, how he's crazy off the screen. And it's just like I take a lot of people's games and then try to implement it in mine.
And see, that's dope. That's again, shout out to my younger brother who's in here doing the cameras. That's something that him and my cousin Stephen McClure, who actually played a little bit in the NFL for a little bit. I'm gonna interview him one day too. But that's something that I've always admired about them, and even outside of sports, it's something that I've tried to do myself. Like the attention to detail that you said. Like you paid attention to this one, to that one, and put it all together. My brother was like that. We'd be outside in the front playing ball, and he'd be like, "Hey, Mike, this is how you do your crossover. This is how Steph do his." My older brother's name is Stefan. "Hey, this is how Jesse shoot the ball. This is how this one do that one." And when you go and watch him play in high school, you see little pieces of everybody. Not that we all world beaters or anything, but you see little pieces of everybody. And for me, I was naive and just also not very good. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, I go to practice every day. I was always one of the hardest workers on the team. But for me, like, if to get to a 10, like if you needed to get to a 10 to be recruited, I felt like no matter how hard I worked, I was never going to get past the 6. That's just how I felt. And then but thinking back, to get back to your point about taking pieces from everywhere, that was something that I never really did. Like my favorite player was Iverson. I was like, I'm going to try to do everything like Iverson. And that don't work out because there's only one Iverson. You know what I'm saying? You can't, even if you can shoot like Iverson, you can't move like Iverson. And even if you could dribble like him, you can't pass like him. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's important to, no matter what you're doing, especially in basketball, to take little pieces from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. I should have brought my notes in here like Mr. Wade said. If you could, boom, this is kind of off. I asked this question, everybody has nothing to do with sports. If you could choose any superpower at all, what superpower would you choose?
Superpower, being able to read people's minds.
Read minds?
Yeah.
Why would you choose that?
Because I always want to know what people are thinking. Like, I just want to know.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if it's anything, like, say we're on the court, I know what he's thinking. If you think I'm going to go left, I'm going to go right. Or if it's just, like, you out and about at a party, you talking to a girl or something, just know what she's thinking. If she messing with you,
right,
cool. If she not, she not.
Okay. And see, for me, I'm thinking something all super deep and cynical. He like, nah, just basic stuff. I just want to know what people thinking at any given moment. I think for me, and this kind of give it away in case I ask somebody else the question, I think I would want to teleport, bro. You ever like just been somewhere and you like, I ain't feeling this no more?
Driving. I hate driving.
I feel that, especially with you being in Temecula, coming out here and working out with Ryan Rizuki. Boom. Another thing we could talk about. When did you make the connection with Ryan Rizuki? Because when I met you at Cream of the County, you had already known him. Oh, we ain't got that much time left. But how did you make that connection with Ryan Rizuki?
Ryan Rizuki, we started training, I think, my junior year.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when we started training, and then that's when he started, like, doing his stuff and handling his business, and then he got his own gym, and then I reconnected with him probably about a few weeks ago, and then we just been in the lab going crazy. So, like, I work out with Ryan Rizuki, and then I work out with my trainer CJ as well.
That's dope. Next time, I don't know if you got a workout with him today, but the next time you come into town, bro, and you working out with Ryan, let me know. I'm gonna do my best to pull up. Like I said, I got 2 kids now. I got a lot going on at home, but let me know, bro, and I'm gonna do my best to pull up, man, for sure. But yeah, man, I think that's Mr. Wade. How we looking, man? Ain't even listening. I think that's all the time we got. There we go. Man, it's been On the Michael Flix. Very, very happy to have my first guest, Bryson Stevens, in here in the studio with me, man. Again, man, it took a long time for making this connection, but I appreciate you coming out, bro. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
I mean, like I said, we didn't have enough time to talk about everybody, but next time we got to make sure to talk about everything. The next time you come in, we got to make sure we talk about everything, bro.
For sure.
That's love, bro. Appreciate you. On the Michael Flix, man.